You've been busy, right?
A little bit, yeah. I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday.
So Gary, let's have fun.
What's that?
Let's have fun. What have
Okay.
you been doing for a year?
I wrote a book. It was called Crush It. It did very well. I'm very happy with it. I started a consulting company with my brother AJ, who I love more than life, and that's called Vaynermedia. And we've been consulting for a lot of big brands, the National Hockey League, Cadbury, Adams, and done some work for Saks Fifth Avenue and Procter & Gamble. So that's been interesting. And I've been doing some angel investing.
Oh, really? That's new.
Yeah, that's been fairly new. Yesterday, you might have saw Gowalla got announced. I was in on that. So I invested in Gowalla, Simple Geo, Daily Booth, Tumblr.
Oh, yeah, Daily Booth, you take a picture.
Yep. And
it gives a history of your face as you go old, when you lose your hair. For example, it reminds you. It's very cool. I love it.
Yeah, and so I've been doing some things. I've been out meeting people. I always love to come to this kind of stuff because I've already got to meet a lot of people that I've not met before.
Yeah.
It's a people business, Loic. Too many people give a shit about money and all this horse shit and metrics and SEO and all this garbage, but it's all about people.
So
it is.
So you know, that's why I really wanted to have you back. You did your wine show last year, and that was really cool.
Fun.
WineLibraryTV.com. If you guys don't know it, you have to watch. Gary is becoming the Parker of the internet.
I don't know about that, but
come on.
No. There's some people that watch it. It's fun. As a matter of fact, yesterday night I did an event at a Paris wine school, which was a lot of fun. Wine not only, this is the wine world, right? This is where wine does its thing. But in the U.S., people are scared of wine. They're intimidated. So I started the show because I wanted people to try new things and to trust their own palate. It's not about Parker or me or Wine Spectator or tradition. I mean, Bordeaux. We all love Bordeaux, but really, we're still completely influenced by something that happened in 1855. I mean, things change. Terroir is terroir, but winemakers and things change. And so my passion is to get people to trust their own palate. By the way, not only in wine, but in business. There's way too many people looking at all the pretty faces in the crowd. I know for fact, in my heart, that 95% of the people in this room don't love what they do 100%.
No, not this room.
Well, how many people in this room love what they do 100? Whoa, 100%. Okay, so you know what?
See?
That's
you're wrong.
20%.
No, this is a very...
That was 20% max. That was maybe 20.
No.
Okay, one more time. How many people? What? Don't bullshit. 100% love what they do. Loic, that's okay. 33%.
This is, by the way, this is on camera, so I'm sorry. This is not 20.
Fine. How many people are not 100% happy? Raise your hand.
10%?
That's not 10%. But fine, listen, the fact of the matter is, my hope is that people recognize how big the social shift is right now, how the cost of getting involved and building a business around what you love is so low. Go ahead.
So you guys, if you raise your hand the second time, you just stop what you're doing and you do what you love. That's your point?
No, because you have to be practical. You have to, pay the mortgage, you have student loans, there's practicality. But the fact of the matter is, I don't want people not doing what they love when they can come home and instead of at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night play Nintendo Wii or drink 6 beers or watch Lost Season 2 on DVD, I want them to start building a business around what they love because the cost is zero.
Okay, so tell me how I do that. That's your book, right?
Well, that's the book, but I don't really want to talk about the book.
Oh, really?
No, because I want to talk about one thing.
Because I only have
I do want to talk about the Jets all the time.
No, we don't. Well, we have some time.
We have some time, but what I think I know you probably want to ask some questions, right?
No, go ahead.
No, but you ask a question first.
What do you want to talk about?
Consumer expectation.
Okay.
So here's what I'm fascinated by, and I'm curious if you guys have been looking at this or thinking about this. In 1999, when I launched free shipping for one day on WineLibrary.com, people lost their mind. People bought wine for like 30 years. People were like buying wines for their daughter's wedding when she was like 6 years old. It was chaos.
Why?
Because it wasn't something that everybody was doing at the time. Wine is heavy, so for a lot of people it costs $3 a bottle to ship the wine, and so we did this, and it became insanity, and everybody lost their fucking mind, right? But what's interesting is over the course of the last decade, free shipping has become standard. It becomes something we're used to. What I know is that if any person in this room flew to a hotel in any city in the world, and they went in and got their internet, and they tried to sign on for the wireless or whatever, and they got dial-up, if they heard that, they would shit their pants. They would call everybody they know and go, this place sucks, that's unbelievable. We get very used to things very fast. And what I think is very important to understand, and what I think is gonna impact everybody's business in this room, is that consumers are going to expect a far greater level of customer service. What I know is that...
Like I tweet that you suck at 3 a.m.
Right.
You have to answer.
At some level. So, here's what I know. People are gonna come up here and talk about Facebook Connect and the Twitter fire hose and all this shit, right? What I know is this. If you don't care about your customer, and if you're not delivering on actually giving a crap about them, you're gonna lose going forward. Because word of mouth has become so activated, we are all so connected in a way that we've never been, that here's what I know, small town rules are gonna start to apply. And like the baker's dozen. The baker used to give you 13 donuts and charge you for 12 because he gave a crap. If you go to Whole Foods or Tesco or anybody place right now and buy 13 donuts, they're going to charge you for 13.
You're in a country where we like croissant and
fine, croissant, fine.
So we know what you're talking about.
So that's right. And so what I'm fascinated by...
They call you by your name.
That's right. And what I'm fascinated by is that when I grew up, I didn't expect my favorite sportsman to come to my house, Patrick Ewing from the Knicks, and say, Gary, thank you so much for supporting the Knicks. I didn't expect Prince to @reply me or send me a letter or come after a concert and shake my hand. But we're living in a day and age now where the cost of entry for us to engage with everybody is so low that our expectation is growing. What Ocho Cinco is doing, what Zappos created in corporate culture.
Tony is here.
That's right. He's probably crushing it somewhere right now. What's starting to happen is our expectation, what I do for wine fans, they didn't expect Robert Parker or Jancis Robinson or the owner of Chateau Latour to care or give back or answer their email. I think that's starting to change.
So you crush it by answering every single email? That guy answers every single email.
I try. And you can't scale it when you're one person. I understand that. My inbox has plenty of things from August and September.
Why don't you just archive? I mean, come on. You make it a point to answer, to help. Why do you want to help people so much?
I used to think that I was driven by being an immigrant. I was born in Belarus in the former Soviet Union, and I came to the US, and we lived in a studio apartment with 8 family members, smaller than that stage. So my whole life, I thought that I was driven and I was successful because I was an immigrant, because I know what it tastes like to have zero. I know what it tastes like to not have toys and games. I understand what work is, right? But what I've come to realize recently is that I'm driven by gratitude. I don't think we're grateful enough. I'm grateful. I mean it. I was born in a country where my DNA would have either put me in jail, got me murdered, or I'd be one of those crazy billionaire Russian dudes. But, one of those three.
Hey, careful, we had a panel in Russia.
Fair enough, I love it. Listen, it's my place, it's where I'm from.
Was Kikat. They crush it.
But I got lucky. I got to leave communism, come to, the US. I have the greatest mother in the world. My dad...
Are you going to thank your whole family?
Yeah, my dad, because that's what the game is. My dad dragged my ass into the liquor store when I was 13, 14 and taught me hard work, paid me $2 an hour to bag ice for 8 hours a day. So I'm driven by gratitude. When you have health of you and your family, everything else is massively secondary. I'm very disgusted by what I saw last year. When the economy got soft...
At the web?
No, well, a little bit. But, what I was really... It was cold. It's much warmer this year.
Well, now it's warm. We fixed a few things.
You did. You did a great job. You're amazing. So what I think is, what I think was very interesting last year was when the world economy got soft, all I heard in America and plenty of places around the world was, oh shit, it's the depression. It's the depression. We're dead.
Yeah, we were all dead
Everybody,
last year.
And nobody was outside eating food out of the garbage. See, here's what happened. We've all become very soft. Everybody wanted to buy a 50-inch TV screen that December. That's why they were upset. Buy your 29-inch, shut the fuck up, and get to work. We don't need a Nintendo Wii. We don't need a Juju. We don't need shit. What we need to do is be happy. And the fact of the matter is this, that we live in a day and age. You know who I feel bad for? The people that are just like us, the entrepreneurs and business people just like us, journalists just like us, who lived in a day and age where the gatekeepers controlled the game, when cash ruled everything around me. Cream. You know, that is who I feel bad for. Who I feel great for is every person in this room, because we live in a world where the platform, not fucking Facebook or Twitter or Tumblr, the internet, that thing, the internet that's 15 years old, by the way, the consumer internet, is only 15 years old. The fucking thing hasn't had sex yet, and it's dominating. The fact that every person in this room, for very low cost, which is, by the way, zero, sweat, a lot of hard work. But when did building a business not take a shitload of work? I promise you, all your grandparents that built businesses, they didn't get VC funding and talk about users. They built real businesses, and it took a long time. The fact that every person in this room can use the internet and build a platform, and I don't give a shit if you live in Silicon Valley or France or New Jersey, everybody's got a shot. The cost is zero. That, to me, means we're living in the best time ever, where everything's being exposed. Ustream's putting out live. I mean, you're not going to be able to hide.
100,000 people watched this yesterday.
You think Tiger Woods is an extreme example? Everybody's going to get called out. Everybody. Nobody's going to be hiding anywhere because everything's going to be exposed. And the fact that we can all build a real business and the cost of entry is so low, I feel bad for the entrepreneurs from the 50s and 60s and 40s who didn't have that. The entrepreneurs in the 80s who needed $100,000 to start up a business. The fact that you could start a business now, create content around that, and then back-end it. If you want to open a coffee shop, a retail coffee shop, start a coffee blog, get your fucking hands dirty and get involved in every coffee community online, stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning, build real relationships, not spam shit, have people give a crap about you, and when you open your coffee shop, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be a little bit better. You're going to have a few more customers. That blueprint is in play, and we, as the human race, not San Fran or New York or France or Europe, we collectively are underestimating how big this is. I promise you, it's so blatantly obvious. We are underestimating how big this shift is, how big this opportunity is. It's a gold rush, it's a land grab, and there's going to be a lot of winners. It's not just one winner. This isn't Oprah. You don't need to be the Oprah of wine. You could be the Geraldo or the Ricky Lake or the Sally Jesse Raphael. The 57th best blogger around exercising is going to be just okay. They're going to do great. Because what's happening is traditional media's money is starting to go away. See, since I started VaynerMedia and I'm working with Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, these people want to spend money in different places. They know, I mean, really, TV Nielsen ratings, there's a box in every 6,000 homes, and that's the stats in a day and age where we know when people sneeze while they're on the computer. It's crazy. Things are shifting. Money's coming down, Louis. There's $500 billion in ad revenue that's coming down. See, anybody in this room that's taken marketing classes and has gone to university knows that word of mouth converts.
Yeah, we should do exactly the opposite as was marketing classes.
That's well, but what they learned in that class was word of mouth converts, right? Word of mouth converts in the 80 percentile. 8 out of 10 times, if you can afford to buy what your friend tells you, you will buy. Marketing, advertising, banners, bus stops, 12%. Just give me 1 sec. 12%. If you think about what's happened over the last 36 months with things like Twitter and Facebook and all the mobile stuff, we are being connected where our word of mouth explodes. The biggest yenta on the Upper East Side of Manhattan 5 years ago, 8 years ago, could tell 40 or 50 of her socialite friends. The weirdest, most introverted person living in Minnesota in the basement of his mom's house can tell 6,000 now. That's game-changing.
Gary, one thing is when you start, I know many people who really want to follow your advice, and how do you say crush it?
Crush it.
Crush it?
Crush it.
Crush it?
Crush it.
No, crush it.
Crush it.
That's your book. So how do you start? Because you need to leave your job, you need to
You don't
take
need to leave your
risks.
job. No, you don't. Here's the shit. I want people, if you're not happy and you want to build a business around World of Warcraft or tea or bike riding, the fact is the matter is that most people, not everybody, there's single moms with 4 kids. There's extremes, right? A wife passed away and the husband has to work 3 jobs. There's extremes. But a big chunk of society, they're getting home at 7 or 8 at night, 6 at night, right? The fact of the matter is there's a lot of hours in between 8 p.m. and 2 in the morning. And if you're not happy, you deserve and you owe to yourself to fucking work. And instead of watching 3 hours of television or doing this with the Wii controller for 4 hours, you can apply it to building a business. There's a real opportunity. Now, is everybody gonna win? No. Talent, content, a little bit of luck. What I know is that most—
for example,
yeah.
You love video, I love video too. And this is,
Yeah, I remember Seismic. I loved it, I used it. I loved it.
Oh, that was a
want it back.
compliment, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
I think
go ahead.
we love video. And that was this guy.
I'm not coming back next year, am I?
Of course you're coming back. Seismic has 500,000 users, so everything's
I know.
cool.
Go ahead.
Agility is something interesting
That's right.
too.
No, but you know what? One of the chapters in my book, and one thing that—
I've read your book. I'm trying to crush it. I'm trying really hard.
No, but listen, one of the things I respect about you so much is probably the most important thing to me when you're an entrepreneur is reactionary business. I vomit in my mouth when people come to me and say, here's our 3-year plan. 3 years? In this world that we all live in? Are you crazy? 3 weeks, things change. You read TechMeme, TechCrunch, Mashable, 3 weeks, the whole game changes. You have to be able to be a reactionary business person. For example, for me, mobile is clearly coming. It's here and it's coming more and more. So, because I can't do everything, some of my investments, Simple Geo, Koala, are going in that space because I want to learn, I want to be on the advisory board, I want to be a part of that because there's so much coming there. You have to be reactionary. You just have to be.
So, video.
Give me your water, please.
You have yours, actually. I'm not sharing.
Why?
Have you heard of all those things these days?
I'm not scared of that shit. All right, go ahead.
Some people are not comfortable with you're advising to do videos. They don't have your charisma.
I'm not advising to do video. If you read the book like you said you did, what I said, was, you need to know, what I'm fascinated by and what I almost called the book was brand DNA. What I know is that every person in this room, not everybody is the same. Not everybody is over the top. Listen, everybody thinks they have to be like me to be successful. There's plenty of people in the crowd that hate me because I'm too over the top.
That's right.
I curse.
Have many people hate you.
I don't have many. I have some. But, you have to be who you are. What I know is that for everybody that I turn off, I'm going to get in the trenches and meet them. Maybe I'll meet them here one by one by the cheese stand.
How about the people who really think you're completely full of shit?
You
Those
know,
guys.
I've got it better than a lot of people.
He's a motivator.
Right.
He's like,
listen,
he talks a lot.
Yeah, super. I built a $70 million wine retail business. It allows me to have a little bit of an excuse, right? If it's kind of nice when you did it, right? It's kind of nice when I was making, $100,000 a year selling baseball cards when I was 14 years old. You could say anything you want, and you could disagree, but—
No, but like, for example.
Please.
You say, old media we don't need. You said that.
No, what I said was—
No, you said it sucks.
I said it sucks with ROI. I bought billboards and magazines and taxi tops for Crush It. But when they came to me and said the billboard is $15,000 on a highway, I said, fuck you, I'll give you $2,000, and they took it. See, what I know is this. I am not romanced by new media. I don't care about Facebook or Twitter. Honestly, I don't even really care that much about the internet, even though that's the game. If people still looked up in the sky and looked at smoke signals, I'd climb those rafters right now and do this. I care about the message. Listen, I wrote a book, right? A lot of people busted my chops. Mr. New Media, why'd you write a book?
Yeah, why did you write a book?
Because people read them. The fact of the matter is that I'm not romanced by anything but the message. The platforms that we deliver them on is irrelevant, which is why I'm so passionate and why I wanted to talk today about customer service, because I'm telling you, Tony Hsieh, Zappos, and then Bezos, for being smart enough to buy them, are massively underrated. I promise you, when we look back at it, culture, DNA and culture is what wins the game, not price. In a day and age where price is so available to us. The fact that Zappos was not the cheapest. And I hate when people say Zappos was great because they went on Twitter. What are you talking about? It's not going on Twitter. It was corporate culture. It was caring more about the consumer than anybody else. That to me is very fascinating because that's something that can be scaled by any startup here. The guys who just won this thing, Stripe, they're gonna be great and all that. They don't win unless they give a fuck. And the more you care, and the more you care about your users, and the more effort you put into that, and don't bullshit it, the more upside you have as a company. I firmly, firmly believe that in a world where our word of mouth is so activated that when you have a good experience or a bad experience, it's gonna travel dramatically more than 3 years ago.
I actually think we have a big advantage to large companies because they cannot change that fast. This Twitter, acid bath that is being done by all of us, twittering about, this brand is great, this brand is, sucks, is really tough to manage because they cannot answer that fast.
But
so
they
if you
can.
take Nespresso, for
They can. They have so much money.
Can I plug Nespresso?
No, they can because here's the problem. They have the dollars to do it. They just haven't made the cultural, decision to go there. When I hear big companies can't do it because they're too big, they have tons of cash. They can absolutely positively hire 7, 10, 20, 100 people. The National Hockey League, which is a league, a professional sports league, when they said to me, when I told them, I want you to reply to every email and every Facebook wall message, every one you get, they looked at me like, that's impossible. I'm like, assholes, I get more than you. I'm one person, and I'm doing it. How can't you do it? Here's the difference. People don't want to do it because they don't recognize why it's valuable to their business, because in the old days, our little individual voices didn't carry enough weight. That's starting to change. Consumer expectation is starting to change, and when it starts ringing up on the radar, it's going to become culture. What I'm talking about right now is going to be standard business practices in 5 years because of necessity. I'm just recommending people to get there first because it is an absolute differentiator. I just want to say one more thing because we don't have that much time, Loic.
Keep going, Gary.
Conferences are very interesting to me. I will not come back.
This is not a conference.
What is it?
This is a community.
Okay, if it's a fucking community, why are we not doing Q&A? We're all up here talking. If it's wait a minute. If this is a community, why are we all sitting around here jerking ourselves off and talking about stuff when I refuse to come back next year unless my entire presentation is Q&A?
We could have done that entirely if you want.
Louis, that's what we can all go up here. They can read about this. They know that. The real value is I want to do Q&A all the time. The Gilmore gang's going up here. They should do Q&A. We should do. You know what? Let's kick the next act off and let's do 20 minutes of Q&A right now.
I'm not sure Violet Blue will appreciate that.
Oh yes, Violet Blue. The future of sex. It's gonna be way better than this.
What you can do as well is
still have 2 minutes.
Is just stay with us for the 2 days in the corridors and meet everyone.
No, but honestly, I'm being serious. If this is a community and this is an amazing turnout and you put on an amazing show and the food is quite impressive, that's why I really come. And so, but I honestly think that every presentation, one of my big goals for 2010, you can see I'm growing a beard, right? In hockey, in America, when the teams go into the playoffs, they all grow beards. And so 2010 is going to be a big beard year for me. I'm going to talk a little less. I think I've talked enough. I'm going to put my head down and build VaynerMedia. I'm going to build Corked, my wine social network, which I'm passionate about. And I'm thinking about launching a conference that's Q&A only because if it is community, we're not engaging enough with them, in my opinion.
Well, we're on Twitter. We've been, exchanging a lot, and there are actually some participants here who never showed up to this room, which I think is fantastic.
And listen, Loic, I'm not busting your chops. I love you, and so does everybody here. How many people love Loic? Raise your hand. How many people hate Loic? Raise your hand. 2, 3. You did better than the love your job, hate your job. Listen, I'm not busting chops. What I'm saying is that I'm very fascinated about Q&A. I think there needs to be more of this. We're all talking about social media, right? Everybody gets up here and says, engage with your community, and then all we're doing up here is giving a presentation. So I'm very passionate about Q&A.
So next year, we will have you do only Q&A.
I'm going to do Q&A after this. I'm not even going to...
Do you want this guy back next year? Yeah! Well, It looks like still, they liked it.
Listen, the bottom line is this. I'm very appreciative to be up here and spend some time with you guys. I'm going to hope to meet a bunch of you in the crowd after this. And I wish you guys nothing but health and a great holiday. And thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Gary.
So Q&A next year with Gary V. Add Gary V on Twitter if you don't follow Gary.
Facebook.com/Gary.
Put his mic back. Facebook.com/Gary. Oh, that's you.
Gary. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool, right?
Twitter.com/Gary V. Crush It, the book. I think and it's cool. It's really cool. What's next?
Future of Sex is next.
TV show or something?
Not yet. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary.